My beloved child, open this before tonight fades away. Do not delay. Do not tell yourself you will return to these words tomorrow. There is something stirring in your life, something you have felt but could not name. You sense it in the quiet pauses of your day. You feel it when the noise settles and your thoughts grow louder. It is the feeling that change is near. Tomorrow will not be ordinary. Tomorrow carries a shift that I have prepared for you. But before the sun rises, something within you must open. I see the questions you carry. I hear the silent prayers you whisper when no one else is around. You have been standing at the edge of something new, yet part of you hesitates. You wonder if you are ready. You wonder if it is truly me moving, or just your own hope trying to survive another day. My child, it is not your imagination. It is my hand guiding you toward a new chapter. Tonight is not random. This moment is not accidental. There are nights that pass like any other, and then there are sacred nights, nights that divide what was from what will be. This is one of those nights. You have asked me for change. You had asked me for relief, for direction, for restoration. Tomorrow begins the answer. But I will not force open what you keep closed. There is a door inside your heart that you have guarded carefully. Behind it are your fears, your disappointments, your fragile hopes. You have learned to protect yourself. You have learned to expect less so you will not be hurt again. Yet I did not create you to live behind locked doors. I created you to trust, to breathe freely, to walk forward without chains. Open before tonight ends. Open your heart to the possibility that I am about to do something greater than you imagine. Open your hands and release the need to control every outcome. Open your thoughts and allow me to speak peace where anxiety has taken root. Tomorrow will change everything, but the transformation begins in this quiet surrender. Do not wait for a sign in the sky. Do not demand thunder to prove my presence. I am speaking now, gently, but clearly. I am inviting you into alignment with my plan. What I have prepared for you requires faith, not perfection. It requires willingness, not strength. You do not have to fix yourself before I move. You only need to open. My beloved child, tonight is your threshold. Stand here with me. Let go of yesterday's weight. Trust that I am already weaving tomorrow's breakthrough. The story is shifting. The atmosphere around you is shifting. And as you choose to open your heart in this very moment, you step into the beginning of a new dawn that I have lovingly prepared just for you. My beloved child, I see the restlessness you try to hide from the world. When the day is busy, you manage to silence it. You smile, you work, you speak as though everything is steady. But when the evening comes and the lights grow dim, your thoughts begin to wander. You replay conversations. You question decisions. You wonder if you missed an opportunity or if you are still waiting for the right one. I see it all, and I am not distant from your unrest. You have been waiting for change for longer than you admit. You tell yourself to be patient, to be strong, to hold on just a little longer. Yet inside, there is a quiet cry that asks, when will it be my turn? My child, I have heard that cry every single time. Not once has your sigh escaped my notice. Not once has your tear fallen without me counting it. There are moments when you feel forgotten, as though others are moving forward while you stand still. You watch doors open for them. You see blessings unfold in their lives. And you wonder if perhaps you did something wrong, if perhaps you are less deserving. Let me gently correct that thought. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are not disqualified. Timing in my hands is not a race. It is a careful unfolding. Your restlessness is not a sign of failure. It is often a sign of transition. When a season is about to change, the air begins to shift before the storm clouds gather where the sun rises. In the same way, your spirit senses movement before your eyes can confirm it. A stirring within you is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to prepare you. You have been carrying silent battles. Some of them are fears about the future. Some are regrets from the past. Some are doubts about yourself. You wonder if you are capable of stepping into what you have prayed for. You question whether you have enough strength, enough wisdom, enough faith. My beloved child, I am not asking you to be enough on your own. I am asking you to lean into me. I have watched you grow through things you thought would break you. I have seen you survive days you believed you could not endure. There were nights when you lay awake, feeling the weight of uncertainty pressing on your chest. Yet here you are, still breathing, still hoping, still seeking me. That is not weakness. That is resilience shaped by my love. You may not see the full picture, but I do. I see how every delay protected you from something you were not meant to carry. I see how every closed door redirected you toward a better path. I see how every tear softened your heart instead of hardening it. Nothing has been wasted. Not your confusion. Not your waiting. Not even your pain. Tonight, as you stand on the edge of change, I want you to understand this. You are not stepping into tomorrow alone. The same hand that sustained you through uncertainty will guide you through breakthrough. The same voice that comforted you in silence will lead you in clarity. I am closer than your breath, more faithful than your doubts, stronger than your fears. Restlessness often feels uncomfortable, but it is also sacred. It means you were not created to remain stuck. It means there is more ahead of you. It means your spirit recognizes that something new is being born. Do not resist this stirring. Do not try to push it away. Instead, bring it to me. Lay your questions before me. Lay your worries before me. Lay your expectations before me. My beloved child, you are not forgotten in this waiting season. You are being positioned. You are being prepared. And as this night unfolds, know that I am holding every detail of your tomorrow. What feels uncertain to you is already known to me. What feels fragile to you is already secured in my hands. Trust that the restlessness you feel is not the end of your peace. It is the beginning of your transformation. My beloved child, there is a door within you that you have been afraid to open. You know the one I am speaking of. It is not made of wood or iron, yet it feels heavier than both. It is the door behind which you have hidden your deepest fears, your disappointments, and the fragile pieces of hope you barely allow yourself to touch. You have learned to survive by keeping it closed. You told yourself that if you never opened it again, you would never feel that kind of pain again. But listen to me gently now. The door you closed to protect yourself has also kept out the very restoration you have been praying for. I do not say this to accuse you. I say it to free you. I understand why you close it. I was there when the hurt happened. I saw the betrayal. I felt the sting of the rejection with you. I watched as you gathered the broken pieces of your heart and promised yourself you would never be that vulnerable again. Yet I did not design your heart to live behind barriers. I designed it to trust, to love, to expand. When you close yourself off completely, you may avoid certain wounds, but you also delay certain blessings. The key to the door has never left your hand, my child. I have not forced it from you. I have waited patiently, standing beside you, whispering that it is safe to try again. The fear you feel is understandable. You fear disappointment. You fear looking foolish. You fear hoping for something that may not arrive. But hope is not your enemy. Fear is not your master. I am your Father, and I am asking you to trust me with what lies behind that door. Bring me the memories that still ache. Bring me the dreams you buried. Bring me the questions you are afraid to speak aloud. Imagine for a moment that you opened that door just a little. Light begins to enter the room you kept in darkness. The air shifts. What once felt suffocating begins to breathe again. That is what my presence does. I do not rush in with condemnation. I step in with healing. I step in with understanding. I step in with strength you did not know you had. You are not weak for struggling to open up. You are human. But you are also deeply loved. And love invites courage. Not loud courage that shouts, but quiet courage that whispers, I will try again. Tonight, before you sleep, I am asking for that whisper from you. Not perfection, not complete confidence, just willingness. If these words are touching the place you have kept hidden, then do not ignore this moment. If this message is softening something inside you, bless this message with a like so it may reach other hearts who are standing before their own closed doors. Share it with 3 souls who need this encouragement. And as an act of faith, hype this video so it can travel farther than you ever could, carrying my comfort into homes you will never see. Subscribe and remain close, so you can continue to receive the reminders of my love that steady your heart. Do not underestimate what happens when you choose to open. A single decision made in quiet faith can alter the direction of your entire life. Tomorrow's change begins with tonight's surrender. I am not asking you to face your fears alone. I am standing at the door with you, my hand extended, my voice calm. Open, my beloved child. Let me step into the rooms you thought were too broken to enter. Let me breathe life into places that felt abandoned. When you open your heart to me fully, you will discover that I was never waiting to judge you. I was waiting to restore you. My beloved child, as you open the door within your heart tonight, know that there are countless others standing before their own closed doors, trembling in silence. When you choose to support this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you become a bearer of light to those hidden rooms. As I have said, give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, and I speak this promise over you now. Your seed becomes oil in another's lamp. Your generosity becomes breath in another's weary lungs. This is not a transaction. It is a holy exchange of trust. I am inviting you into partnership with me to carry restoration beyond the walls of your own life. What you release tonight will echo into eternities you may never see. The harvest will not only reach others, it will rise within your own household as peace, provision, and protection. Do not delay this prompting. So now, and watch me open doors no one can shut. My beloved child, tonight matters more than you realize. This is not just another evening passing quietly into memory, not just another sunset fading into darkness. There are moments in your life that appear ordinary on the surface, yet in the spirit they mark a dividing line between what was and what will be. This night is one of those sacred lines. You may not hear thunder. You may not see signs blazing across the sky. But change will not always begin with spectacle. Often, it begins with a quiet yielding of the heart. You have imagined that transformation would arrive with instant clarity. You thought breakthrough would feel like a sudden rush, unmistakable and overwhelming. Yet many of my greatest works unfold in stillness. They unfold when you choose to trust me without visible confirmation. They unfold when you release your demand for certainty and instead lean into faith. Tonight is an invitation into that sacred trust. While you have been wondering what is next, I have been carefully arranging what is ahead. Conversations are aligning. Paths are clearing. Answers are forming in ways you cannot yet detect. Even delays that frustrated you were serving a purpose. Even closed doors were acts of protection. You see fragments, my child. I see the entire tapestry, and I have been weaving it with precision. Tomorrow will bring movement, but tonight prepares you to recognize it. If your heart is cluttered with yesterday's disappointments, you may struggle to embrace tomorrow's promise. If your hands are tightly gripping old pain, you will find it difficult to receive new joy. That is why this moment matters. Preparation is not about striving harder. It is about releasing deeper. Imagine a garden before planting season. The soil must be softened. The weeds must be removed. The ground must be open so the seed can settle and grow. Your heart is that soil. The restlessness you feel is not random. It is the gentle turning of that soil. The questions rising within you are not signs of failure. They are signs of awakening. Something new cannot grow where everything remains closed. You may still wonder, what if I hope again and I am disappointed? Hear me clearly, my beloved child. I am not calling you to false hope. I am calling you into partnership with my promises. When I stir your spirit to open, it is because movement has already begun. Just as dawn approaches silently before light touches the horizon, so does breakthrough approach before your eyes can confirm it. Night, I am asking you to lay down the exhausting need to control every outcome. You have tried to solve everything in your own understanding. You have replayed scenarios in your thoughts, searching for the perfect solution. But peace does not come from controlling tomorrow. Peace comes from trusting the one who holds tomorrow. Breathe deeply now. Release the tension in your shoulders. Let my presence steady your heartbeat. There is a sacred stillness in the hours before sunrise. It can feel heavy, even intense, because it stands so close to change. If you sense pressure, do not mistake it for danger. It is often the pressure of transition, the final stretching before growth. Seeds break open before they rise. Caterpillars struggle before they transform. In the same way, your current discomfort is not the end of your story. It is the threshold of expansion. My beloved child, I am not distant from you in this moment. I am attentive. I am intentional. I am guiding you with a father's steady hand. The change that tomorrow carries is not meant to confuse you but to confirm you. It will not erase your identity. It will strengthen it. It will not diminish your voice. It will refine it. So before you close your eyes tonight, whisper your trust to me. Not because I require it, but because your heart finds peace in surrender. Release the weight of unfinished questions. Let go of old narratives that told you nothing would shift. Allow me to quiet the noise within you. When you awaken, you will not be stepping into chaos. You will be stepping into a day I have already touched with grace. And because you chose to prepare your heart tonight, you will recognize the subtle but powerful ways everything begins to change. My beloved child, there is a weight you have been carrying that I never asked you to hold alone. You have grown so accustomed to it that you barely notice how heavy it has become. It rests on your shoulders when you wake. It follows you through your conversations. It lingers in your thoughts before you fall asleep. You call it responsibility. You call it caution. You call it realism. But beneath those names, it is burden. Tonight, before tomorrow unfolds, I am inviting you to release that weight. Imagine yourself walking a long road with stones placed carefully in your arms. At first, each stone seemed necessary. One represented a mistake you made and promised yourself you would never repeat. Another represented a disappointment that taught you to guard your heart. Another held the expectations of others, the silent pressure to be strong, to succeed, to never falter. You kept picking them up, believing they would protect you or remind you to do better. But now your arms are tired. My child, you were not created to carry stones meant for me. Some of the burdens you hold are not even yours. They are words spoken over you that you believed. They are comparisons you made that slowly stole your joy. They are fears about the future that have not happened and may never happen. Yet you have given them space in your heart as if they are permanent residents. They are not permanent. They are temporary shadows trying to convince you they are solid walls. I see how you try to stay strong. I see how you tell yourself to push through, to handle it quietly, to avoid being a burden to anyone else. But you are not a burden to me. Your struggles do not frustrate me. Your weariness does not disappoint me. When you feel weak, it does not distance you from me. It draws you closer. Tonight, lay the stones down. Lay down the regret that whispers you should have done better. Lay down the anxiety that tells you tomorrow might fall apart. Lay down the pressure to prove your worth. You do not have to earn my love through constant effort. You do not have to secure your future through endless worry. I am your security. I am your provider. I am your peace. Picture yourself kneeling beside a quiet stream. One by one, you release each stone into the water. You feel the immediate difference as your arms grow lighter. The tension in your shoulders eases. Your breathing slows. That is what surrender feels like. It is non-dramatic. It is relieving. It is the simple act of trusting me with what was crushing you. You may fear that if you stop worrying, everything will fall apart. But worry has never been your shield. It has only been your straying. Trust is your shield. Rest is your strength. When you release your burdens into my hands, you are not being irresponsible. You are acknowledging that I am greater than your circumstances. Tomorrow's change cannot fully enter a heart that is overcrowded with fear. That is why I am speaking to you now. I want you to experience the shift without dragging yesterday's heaviness into it. I want you to wake with expectation, not exhaustion. I want you to walk forward with open hands, not clenched fists. My beloved child, you have proven your endurance. Now let me show you my sustaining power. You have carried enough. You have tried hard enough. You have worried enough. Rest in me tonight. Trust that I am strong where you feel fragile. Trust that I am steady where you feel uncertain. As you release what has weighed you down, you make room for peace to settle in. And when peace settles in, clarity follows. When clarity comes, courage rises. And when courage rises, you step into tomorrow not as someone burdened by fear, but as someone upheld by love. Lay down, my child. I am ready to carry what you no longer need to hold. My beloved child, never underestimate the power of a whispered yes. You often imagine that transformation must arrive through something dramatic, something loud and undeniable. You think that if change is truly from me, it will shake the ground beneath you and remove every trace of doubt in an instant. But I tell you gently, the deepest transformations usually begin quietly. They begin in moments when no one else is watching, when your heart makes a small but sacred decision to trust me again. A whispered yes may feel fragile to you. It may tremble as it leaves your lips. It may carry questions alongside it. Yet I am not waiting for a fearless yes. I am moved by a willing one. Even when your voice shakes, even when uncertainty lingers in your thoughts, your yes creates movement in the unseen. Think of a seed planted beneath the soil. When it is first placed in the ground, nothing appears to change. The earth covers it. Darkness surrounds it. There is pressure from every side. If you were to look at the field the next day, you might assume nothing is happening. But within that small seed, something extraordinary has already begun. The outer shell softens. The inner life awakens. Roots begin to stretch downward before any sign of growth is visible above the surface. Your whispered yes is like that seed. When you say yes to trusting me, even though you still feel fear, roots begin to grow in places you cannot see. When you say yes to letting go of resentment, even though the memory still stings, healing starts to move through your heart. When you say yes to stepping into tomorrow with hope instead of dread, courage quietly takes shape inside you. You may not see immediate results, but the process has already begun. You have sometimes delayed your yes because you wanted certainty first. You wanted the full map before taking a single step. But faith does not require full visibility. It requires relationship. You know my character, my child. You have seen me carry you before. You have survived storms that once seemed impossible. You are still here, still breathing, still seeking me. That is not an accident. That is evidence of my faithfulness. There will always be reasons to hesitate. The mind can produce endless scenarios of what could go wrong. The past can replay its disappointments, warning you not to risk your heart again. Fear can disguise itself as wisdom, telling you that staying guarded is safer than trusting. But guarded hearts do not grow. They endure, but they do not flourish. I desire more than survival for you. I desire fullness of life. Tonight, I am not demanding a dramatic declaration. I am inviting you into agreement with my love. Whisper yes to peace when anxiety tries to rise. Whisper yes to hope when doubt speaks loudly. Whisper yes to forgiveness, to trust, to the possibility that tomorrow holds something better than yesterday. Each yes, no matter how small, shifts the direction of your spirit toward me. You may not feel an instant surge of strength. You may not sense a wave of emotion. That does not mean your yes lacks power. The seed does not feel itself becoming a tree. The roots do not announce their progress. Yet growth continues steadily beneath the surface. In the same way, your surrender tonight builds resilience for tomorrow. Your trust deepens your foundation. Your willingness prepares you for what is coming. As your roots grow deeper in me, you will notice something subtle but profound. Situations that once overwhelmed you will begin to lose their grip. Words that once wounded you will not cut as deeply. Uncertainty will no longer feel like a threat but like an invitation. This is the quiet strength that grows from a simple yes. My beloved child, tomorrow's change does not depend on you being perfect. It depends on you being open. Let your yes rise from the depths of your heart, even if it is barely louder than a whisper. I hear it clearly. I treasure it. And I respond to it with power you cannot yet see. Trust the seed. Trust the unseen growth. Trust that the one who calls you to say yes is also the one who ensures that your yes will never be in vain. My beloved child, there are wounds within you that you rarely speak about. Some are old, formed in seasons you believed were long behind you. Others are more recent, still tender to the touch. You have learned how to function despite them. You have learned how to smile while quietly guarding the fragile places in your heart. But healing is not the same as hiding, and surviving is not the same as being restored. I want to touch the places you have avoided. You sometimes believe that your scars disqualify you from stepping into something new. You think the broken chapters of your story have permanently marked you. Yet I see your scars differently. I do not see them as evidence of failure. I see them as proof that you endured. I see strength where you see shame. I see growth where you see damage. When a bone breaks and heals, it often becomes stronger at the point of repair. In the same way, the areas where you felt the deepest pain can become the very places where your compassion grows, where your wisdom deepens, where your discernment sharpens. But only if you allow me to finish the healing process. Some wounds remain open because you revisit them with harsh judgment. You replay what happened and ask yourself why you did not know better, why you trusted, why you stayed, why you hoped. My beloved child, you were doing the best you could with the understanding you had at that time. Do not punish yourself for being human. Do not condemn yourself for longing to love and be loved. I was with you in those moments of heartbreak. I was there when your expectations collapsed. I was there when words cut deeper than they should have. I was there when you felt abandoned, misunderstood, or overlooked. You may not have sensed me clearly, but I never stepped away. I gathered your tears even when you wiped them away quickly so no one else would see. Healing is not about pretending the pain never happened. It is about allowing my love to enter the memory without fear. It is about revisiting those rooms in your heart with me beside you, not alone. When you invite me into those spaces, I do not reopen the wound to hurt you again. I cleanse it. I apply the oil of my comfort. I speak truth where lies once took root. You have carried silent questions about your worth because of what happened. You wondered if you were too much or not enough. You questioned whether something about you caused the hurt. Let me answer clearly. Your value was never determined by how others treated you. Your worth was never dependent on their understanding. You are cherished because you are mine. As tomorrow approaches, I do not want you stepping into change while still bound by old pain. The future I have prepared for you is not meant to be filtered through unresolved wounds. Tonight is an invitation to let me finish what I started in you. Release the identity that pain tried to assign to you. You are not defined by betrayal. You are not defined by rejection. You are not defined by mistakes. Picture your heart as a garden that once endured a harsh storm. Branches were broken. Leaves were torn away. For a time, everything looked barren. But beneath the surface, life remained. Roots held steady. And with care, with time, with nourishment, new growth began to emerge. That is you. You are not the storm. You are the garden that survived it. My beloved child, I am gentle with your healing. I do not rush you. I do not shame you for still feeling tender. But I do call you forward. I call you out of survival mode and into restoration. I call you out of guarded isolation and into renewed trust. Let me hold the wounded places tonight. Let me speak peace over memories that still echo. As you open your heart to my healing, you will find that the scars no longer ache the way they once did. They will remain as reminders of where you have been, but they will no longer control where you are going. Tomorrow will not be built on your pain. It will be built on your restoration. And I am faithfully completing that work within you. My beloved child, you are closer than you think. So often you imagine that I am distant, that I stand far away watching your life unfold from some unreachable place. When prayers seem unanswered or circumstances remain unclear, you assume there must be space between us. But I tell you gently and truthfully, there has never been a moment when I was far from you. I am nearer than your next breath. I am present in the quiet thoughts you barely notice. I am in the subtle strength that carried you through days you thought would break you. Even when you felt alone, you were not abandoned. Even when you felt unheard, I was listening carefully to every word you could not fully form. You tend to measure closeness by visible results. If something changes quickly, you feel reassured. If answers come fast, you feel confident that I am near. But my presence is not proven by speed. It is revealed in steadiness. Think of the ground beneath your feet. You rarely consider it, yet it supports you constantly. In the same way, my presence sustains you even when you are not consciously aware of it. There were moments when you narrowly avoided harm and called it coincidence. There were conversations that shifted your direction, and you called them random. There were delays that frustrated you, only for you to later realize they protected you. My hand was in those details. My guidance was woven into those events. You may not have seen the full design, but you were walking within it. You sometimes search for dramatic signs, longing for unmistakable confirmation that I am guiding you. Yet I often speak through gentle impressions, through quiet nudges, through a sense of peace that settles in your heart when you choose a certain path. That peace is not accidental. It is my whisper aligning your spirit. When you feel uncertain, you may wonder if you have drifted too far. You may question whether doubt or distraction has created distance between us. My beloved child, your moments of confusion do not push me away. Your questions do not offend me. Your struggles do not weaken my love. If anything, they draw me closer to you with compassion. Imagine a parent walking beside a child who is learning to navigate a new path. The child may stumble. The child may hesitate. The child may look around in uncertainty. But the parent does not vanish at the first misstep. The parent stays near, ready to steady, ready to guide. That is how I walk with you. Not from a distance, but beside you. As tomorrow approaches, you may still feel unsure about what lies ahead. But uncertainty does not mean isolation. In fact, it is often in seasons of uncertainty that my closeness becomes most profound. When you cannot rely on your own understanding, you become more aware of my steady presence. There are signs of my nearness that you may have overlooked. The sudden calm that came when panic tried to rise. The unexpected encouragement that arrived through someone else's words. The resilience you found when you thought you had none left. Those were not accidents. Those were reminders that I am actively involved in your journey. My beloved child, you do not have to strain to find me. You do not have to perform to keep me near. I am already here. As you open your heart tonight, you will begin to sense that closeness more clearly. The noise of fear will quiet. The distance you imagined will fade. You will realize that the one guiding your tomorrow has been holding your today all along. Step forward with this assurance. You are not reaching for me across a gap. You are responding to the one who has always been at your side. And as you awaken to that truth, your confidence will grow. Tomorrow's change will not feel like stepping into the unknown alone. It will feel like walking hand in hand with the Father who never left you. My beloved child, fear cannot follow where we are going. It may attempt to linger at the edges of your thoughts. It may try to whisper old memories into your ears as you prepare for tomorrow. It may remind you of times when things did not work out the way you hoped. But listen to me clearly tonight. Fear does not have authority over the path I am leading you down. Fear has become familiar to you. It has learned your patterns. It knows which memories still ache and which uncertainties make your heart beat faster. Sometimes it speaks so softly that you mistake it for your own reasoning. It tells you to be careful, to expect less, to prepare for disappointment so you will not be caught off guard. It presents itself as protection. Yet what it often creates is paralysis. I did not design you to live guarded at every turn. There is wisdom that comes from experience, and then there is fear that grows from unresolved pain. Wisdom observes and learns, but it still moves forward. Fear observes and retreats. Wisdom builds with discernment. Fear builds walls. As I guide you into this new day that approaches, I am not removing wisdom from your life. I am loosening fear's grip on your decisions. Imagine fear as a shadow cast behind you. When you focus on the shadow, it can seem large and intimidating. It stretches across your thoughts, exaggerating what could go wrong. But a shadow has no substance. It cannot grasp you. It cannot hold you back unless you stop and stare at it. The moment you turn toward the light, the shadow shifts behind you, smaller and less commanding. I am that light. You have allowed fear to narrate certain parts of your story for too long. It has told you that you are not fully prepared. It has warned you that if you open your heart again, you may be hurt again. It has suggested that stepping into something new will expose your weaknesses. But fear speaks from limited vision. It sees possibilities without my presence. It imagines outcomes without including my protection, my wisdom, or my provision. You may wonder how to silence fear completely. My child, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing to trust me even when fear is still whispering. It is acknowledging me anxious thought, but refusing to let it sit on the throne of your heart. It is saying, I feel this, but I will not be led by it. Think of a traveler standing at the edge of a river. The water ahead looks unfamiliar and deep. The traveler remembers past crossings that were difficult. Fear suggests turning back. But I am on the other side, calling gently, assuring the traveler that the current is not stronger than my strength. The water may feel cool at first. The steps may require balance. Yet each step forward proves that fear's predictions were greater than the actual challenge. So it is with you. Tomorrow will present new ground. It may stretch you. It might ask you to trust beyond what feels comfortable. Fear will attempt to follow you into that space, to interpret every new development as potential danger. But where faith leads, fear cannot dominate. It may knock at the door of your mind, but it does not have to be welcomed in. When anxious thoughts rise tonight, bring them to me instead of battling them alone. Say, Father, this is what I'm feeling. Let me answer with truth. You are not as fragile as fear claims. You are not as unprepared as doubt suggests. You are not stepping into tomorrow without covering. I go before you. I stand beside you. I remain behind you. My beloved child, the future I am unfolding for you cannot be fully embraced if fear is given the loudest voice. As you prepare to sleep, release the grip of worst-case scenarios. Breathe in my peace. Allow my assurance to settle over you like a calm blanket in the night. Step toward the light I am providing. Let faith take the lead. Fear may trail behind for a moment, but it cannot cross the threshold into the destiny I have prepared. Where we are going, fear loses its power, and trust becomes your steady guide. My beloved child, as tomorrow approaches, I want you to understand that preparation is not about striving harder. It is about aligning your heart with mine. You have spent so much energy trying to prepare outwardly for what is ahead, thinking through plans, imagining conversations, rehearsing possibilities. Yet the most important preparation is happening within you. It is the quiet alignment of your spirit with my peace. You sometimes believe that if you can anticipate every outcome, you will feel secure. But security does not come from predicting every detail. It comes from knowing who holds the details. I am not asking you to calculate tomorrow perfectly. I am asking you to trust me completely. Preparing your heart means releasing the need to control how everything unfolds. It means letting go of the expectation that change must look a certain way to be good. You have pictured outcomes in your mind, some hopeful and some fearful. But my plans often exceed your expectations in ways you could not design on your own. If you cling too tightly to your version, you may miss the beauty of mine. Tonight, take a moment to examine what you are carrying into tomorrow. Are you bringing anticipation or anxiety? Are you stepping forward with trust or with guarded hesitation? Preparation begins with honesty. I already know what you feel, but when you acknowledge it before me, your heart softens. Walls begin to lower. Peace finds room to settle. Imagine a musician tuning an instrument before a performance. The instrument may be beautifully crafted, but if it is not aligned, the sound will be strained. In the same way, your life can be full of potential, yet if your heart is tense with fear or resentment, you will struggle to move freely. Let me tune your heart tonight. Let me adjust what feels tight. Let me steady what feels uncertain. Alignment also means remembering who you are. You are not stepping into tomorrow as someone abandoned or unsupported. You are stepping forward as my beloved child. You carry my presence with you. You carry my wisdom within you. You carry resilience shaped by every season you have survived. Do not minimize the growth that has already taken place inside you. There may still be questions that remain unanswered. It is all right. You do not need every answer to move forward. Sometimes clarity unfolds step by step. When you walk with me, the next instruction becomes clear at the right time. Preparation is not about having the entire path mapped out. It is about being willing to take the next faithful step. If this message is helping you prepare your heart for what lies ahead, let it be a seed of encouragement not only for you but for others as well. Bless this message with a like so it can travel further. Share it with those who are standing on the edge of their own turning points. And as an act of faith, hype this video so it reaches hearts that may be silently praying for confirmation tonight. Remain connected and subscribe so you continue receiving these reminders of my steady guidance. My beloved child, tomorrow's change is not meant to catch you off guard. It is meant to meet a heart that has chosen trust over tension. As you prepare to rest, let gratitude rise for what has already been done. Let expectation rise for what is about to unfold. I am aligning circumstances. I am opening doors at the right moment. I am guiding conversations and decisions with precision. Sleep tonight knowing that preparation is not about perfect performance. It is about peaceful surrender. When your heart is aligned with mine, you will recognize opportunity without panic. You will respond to change without fear. You will walk into tomorrow steady, grounded, and aware that nothing arrives outside of my awareness. Let me finish the work within you tonight. Let me quiet the noise. Let me tune your spirit to peace. And when morning comes, you will rise not just ready, but aligned with the one who has already prepared the way. My beloved child, as you align your heart with mine and prepare for tomorrow, I am aligning divine appointments around you. One of them is this: the opportunity to sow into the spreading of my word. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you tune your resources to my purposes, and harmony is released into the earth. As it is written, those who sow in tears shall reap in joy, and I declare joy will answer your obedience. Your offering becomes a river that carries hope into dry places. It becomes fire on cold altars. I am calling you now, not later, to participate in what I am building beyond what you can see. This is preparation at a higher level, aligning not only your heart, but your provision. I will guard what you entrust to me, and I will multiply what you release in faith. Step into this moment. Give with expectation. Act now. My beloved child, there is something profoundly sacred about the night before a miracle. It does not always feel holy. It does not always feel hopeful. In fact, it often feels ordinary, stretched thin between exhaustion and expectation. You may lie awake wondering if anything is truly shifting, questioning whether tomorrow will be any different from yesterday. Yet I tell you gently, this kind of night has carried some of the greatest turning points in your life. The night before a miracle can feel heavy. It can feel like silence is louder than ever. It can feel as though your prayers are suspended in the air, unanswered and unmoving. You may sense anticipation in your spirit, yet see no evidence around you. This tension between what you feel and what you see can be unsettling. But do not mistake tension for abandonment. Often, it is the final stretching before release. Consider how dawn approaches. The darkest hour does not come at the beginning of the night, but just before the morning breaks. In that hour, it may seem as though light will never return. Yet even then, the earth is already turning toward the sun. In the same way, when your situation appears unchanged, movement is already happening beyond your sight. You have experienced this before, though you may not have recognized it at the time. There were seasons when you thought you were simply enduring another difficult stretch. You counted the days. You wondered how much longer you could continue. But then, suddenly, something shifted. A conversation opened a door. A decision redirected your path. A burden lifted in a way you did not expect. Looking back, you realized that breakthrough was closer than you imagined, even when you felt stuck. This is how I work in your life. Miracles are rarely impulsive acts. They are carefully prepared moments. Beneath what appears still, foundations are being laid. Think of a builder constructing a house. Long before walls are raised, the ground must be measured and reinforced. Concrete must be poured and allowed to set. From the outside, it can look like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, strength is forming to support what will soon stand tall. The night before a miracle is often a season of strengthening. Your patience deepens. Your trust stretches. Your dependence on me grows more sincere. You may not enjoy this refinement, but it is shaping you for what is ahead. What I am preparing for you requires a heart that can carry it wisely. It requires stability that is not shaken by sudden change. You may feel tired tonight. Tired of believing. Tired of explaining your hope to others. Tired of holding on to promises that have not yet fully manifested. My beloved child, your weariness does not disappoint me. It tells me that you have been faithful in the waiting. It tells me that you have not given up, even when answers delayed. Silence does not mean I am absent. Delay does not mean I am indifferent. When you cannot see visible movement, trust that unseen preparation is underway. Just as roots grow deeper underground before a tree rises higher above it, your unseen growth is supporting visible change that is soon to come. There is also a refining that happens in this final stretch. Doubt may try to speak louder. Fear may attempt one last argument. But this is not a sign that you are losing ground. It is often the sign that you are closest to crossing into something new. Resistance tends to intensify right before release. My beloved child, rest tonight with holy expectation. You are not standing in an ordinary pause. You are standing in a sacred transition. The atmosphere around you is shifting, even if your circumstances have not yet caught up. The prayers you thought were delayed are aligning with appointed timing. When morning comes, you may not hear trumpets or see dramatic signs, but you will sense it. A subtle shift, a door that feels lighter to open, a peace that feels steadier than before. That is how many miracles begin. Sleep knowing that this night is not empty. It is full of preparation. It is the quiet prelude to promise fulfilled. And as you close your eyes, trust that I am working faithfully, so that when the dawn breaks, you will step into more than you expected. My beloved child, let me rewrite the story you thought was already finished. There are chapters in your life that you closed with a sigh, believing the outcome was permanent. You looked at what happened, at what did not happen, and you quietly concluded, this is just how my life will be in this area. You accepted limitations as final sentences. But I am not bound by the conclusions you formed in moments of pain. I am the author who continues writing long after you think the book has ended. You have called some seasons failures. You have labeled certain decisions as mistakes that cost you too much. You have replayed conversations and imagined how differently they could have unfolded. At times, you have wished you could turn back the pages and edit your words, adjust your timing, or choose another path entirely. Yet what you see as ruined drafts, I see as essential development. Nothing you surrendered to me has been wasted. There were doors that closed without explanation. There were opportunities that slipped through your fingers. There were relationships that changed in ways you did not expect. You interpreted those endings as rejection, as proof that you were not chosen, not qualified, not enough. But my beloved child, rejection from one path does not mean removal from purpose. A closed door can be an act of protection. A delay can be an act of mercy. You judged certain chapters by how much they hurt. You assumed that because a season brought tears, it could not possibly lead to anything good. Yet some of the deepest roots grow in soil watered by tears. Some of the strongest character forms in moments when you feel the weakest. I was shaping you even when you thought you were simply surviving. Imagine a tapestry stretched tightly across a loom. From underneath, the threads look tangled and confusing. Colors overlap in ways that seem chaotic. Knots appear where you expected smoothness. If you only ever saw the underside, you might assume the entire design was flawed. But from above, the pattern is deliberate. The darker threads give contrast. The unexpected colors bring depth. The knots secure the structure. You have been judging your life from beneath. I see it from above. You have wondered whether certain dreams expired. You feared that time had run out. You ask yourself if you missed your only chance. But my timing is not fragile. It is not easily disrupted by human error. I can restore what feels lost. I can open new pathways where old ones ended. I can bring fulfillment through routes you never considered. Let me rewrite the narrative you repeat in your quiet moments. You are not the person who always falls short. You are not destined to repeat the same disappointments. You are not defined by the chapter that wounded you most. Those conclusions were formed in pain, not in truth. When I rewrite, I do not erase your past as if it never existed. I redeem it. I gather the lessons you learned, the resilience you built, the empathy you gained, and I weave them into a stronger future. What once felt like damage becomes depth. What once felt like loss becomes preparation. As tomorrow approaches, understand that the page is turning. You may not yet see the full paragraph ahead, but the ink is fresh and intentional. I am crafting scenes that align with who you have become. I am introducing moments that will restore your confidence. I am positioning you in places where your growth will make sense. Release the belief that your story has stalled. Release the fear that you are stuck in a loop of the same disappointments. You are not confined to your past decisions. You are not trapped by former outcomes. You are being guided into a renewed chapter. Trust me with the unfinished lines. Trust me with the unexpected plot twists. Trust that even the painful scenes are being woven into a meaningful narrative. My beloved child, your story is still unfolding, and what I am writing now carries redemption greater than what you imagined possible. My beloved child, trust the process you cannot see. I know how difficult that is for you. You long for evidence. You look for signs that confirm movement. You measure progress by what is visible, by what can be counted, by what can be proven. But much of what I do in your life happens in hidden places beneath the surface of your awareness. And what grows in secret often becomes the strongest part of you. Think of a mighty tree standing tall against wind and storm. What you admire are its branches stretching toward the sky, its leaves catching the sunlight. Yet the true strength of that tree lies underground. Its roots have pushed deep into the soil, navigating rocks and dryness, spreading wide and anchoring firmly. No one sees the roots. No one applauds their effort. Yet without them, the tree would fall at the first strong wind. You are in a season of rooting. You may feel like progress is slow. You may look around and wonder why others seem to be advancing more quickly. You may question why certain answers have not yet appeared. But what if the stillness you feel is actually strengthening? What if the waiting is deepening your foundation? I am not withholding good from you. I am preparing you to carry it well. When you ask me for greater opportunities, greater influence, greater peace, you are also asking for greater capacity. Capacity is built in hidden seasons. It is formed through patience when you want speed. It is shaped through faith when you crave certainty. It grows through perseverance when you feel like giving up. These are not wasted moments. They are construction phases. Imagine a craftsman shaping a vessel from clay. The clay spins on the wheel, and the hands pressing against it may feel firm, even uncomfortable. The clay is stretched and reshaped. If it could speak, it might protest the pressure. Yet without that shaping, it would remain a lump, unable to hold anything of value. The pressure creates form. The friction produces function. In the same way, some of the pressure you have felt is not punishment. It is refinement. It is expansion. It is preparation for what you have prayed for. If I were to give you everything at once, without the depth to sustain it, the weight could overwhelm you. I love you too much to let that happen. You sometimes interpret delay as denial. You assume that because something has not happened yet, it will never happen. But timing in my hands is purposeful. Seeds do not sprout the day they are planted. They break open in darkness first. They send roots downward before they rise upward. Growth begins where no one can see it. There are qualities forming within you right now that will soon become visible. Your discernment is sharpening. Your resilience is strengthening. Your empathy is deepening. Even your disappointments have carved space in you for greater compassion. These developments may not come with applause, but they are invaluable. Trusting the unseen process does not mean ignoring your questions. It means bringing them to me instead of letting them turn into doubt. It means choosing to believe that I am intentional, even when the details remain unclear. It means resting in my character when circumstances do not yet make sense. My beloved child, you are not stuck. You are being established. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. Every unseen moment is contributing to a future you will one day recognize as carefully crafted. As tomorrow approaches, remember that you are stepping forward with roots strengthened by every hidden season. When new opportunities arise, you will be steady. When challenges come, you will not collapse. When blessings expand around you, you will have the depth to sustain them. Trust the process you cannot see. Trust that I am cultivating stability beneath you. Trust that what is forming in secret will soon support what blossoms in the light. The roots are deepening even now, and in time, you will stand taller than you imagined possible. My beloved child, tonight I am inviting you to break agreement with doubt. Doubt has lingered in your thoughts longer than you realize. It has not always appeared as a loud voice of opposition. Often, it has come as a quiet suggestion, a subtle hesitation, a gentle but persistent question that plants uncertainty in your heart. It has asked, "Are you sure this will work?" It has whispered, "What if you fail again?" It has implied, "Maybe this change is not meant for you." Over time, those whispers began to feel normal. But normal does not mean true. Doubt often presents itself as wisdom. It claims to protect you from disappointment. It convinces you that lowering your expectations is the safest way to avoid pain. It tells you that staying cautious will shield you from heartbreak. Yet when you repeatedly agree with doubt, it shapes your identity. It influences your decisions. It reduces your willingness to step forward when I am gently calling you ahead. You were not created to live confined by hesitation. There is a difference between bringing honest questions to me and building your life on doubt. Honest questions invite growth. They lead you closer to understanding. But agreement with doubt builds invisible barriers around your potential. It quietly convinces you to expect less from yourself and from your future. You have heard my promises in your spirit. You have felt my reassurance in moments of stillness. You have sensed that something greater is unfolding for you. Yet doubt has tried to interrupt those assurances. It has replayed your past mistakes as if they were permanent labels. It has reminded you of previous disappointments as if they were guarantees of future failure. It has highlighted your weaknesses while ignoring your resilience. Tonight, I want you to notice which voice you have been allowing to guide you. Agreement is powerful. When you agree with fear, your body tightens. When you agree with hopelessness, your vision narrows. When you agree with doubt, your steps become hesitant. But when you agree with truth, something shifts inside you. Strength begins to rise. Clarity increases. Your posture changes, even if your circumstances have not yet shifted. Breaking agreement with doubt does not mean pretending you have no uncertainties. It means refusing to let uncertainty define your direction. It means choosing to trust my character more than your temporary emotions. It means saying, even quietly, I will not allow doubt to narrate my future. Imagine standing before a strong and carefully built bridge. The structure is secure, designed to carry weight safely across. Yet doubt whispers that it will collapse beneath you. If you agree with that whisper, you may never take the first step, even though the bridge is solid. My promises are like that bridge. They are steady, dependable, and grounded in my faithfulness. Your doubt does not weaken them. You have grown in ways you may not fully recognize. The storms you endured did not destroy you. They strengthened you. The seasons of waiting did not erase your purpose. They refined it. The setbacks you experienced did not define you. They shaped your wisdom. Yet doubt tries to erase this progress, convincing you that you are still the same person you were at your lowest point. My beloved child, you are not that person anymore. You have learned. You have matured. You have deepened. You are more resilient than you once were. You are more aware of my presence than you used to be. But to step fully into tomorrow's change, you must release the quiet agreement you have made with doubt. Tonight, withdraw that agreement. When a thought arises that contradicts my love, pause. When a voice suggests you are incapable, question it. When fear predicts failure before you even begin, bring that prediction into my light. Ask whether it aligns with truth. If it does not, let it go. You do not have to fight doubt with anger. You overcome it with alignment. Align your thoughts with my promises. Align your expectations with my goodness. Align your identity with who I say you are. As you prepare for tomorrow, let truth be louder than hesitation. Let faith rise gently, but firmly within you. And when you wake, you will find that the whole doubt once had over you has weakened. You will step forward not because every question has vanished, but because you have chosen to trust the one who holds the answers. My beloved child, break agreement with doubt tonight. There is more ahead of you than fear ever predicted. My beloved child, there is a gift hidden in the delay you have struggled to understand. I know how you have watched the calendar, how you have measured the passing days and wonder why certain prayers seem to linger without visible answers. You expected movement sooner. You hoped for clarity faster. And when things did not unfold according to your timeline, you quietly questioned whether something had gone wrong. But I tell you gently tonight, delay is not the same as denial. From your perspective, delay feels uncomfortable. It feels like standing still while others appear to move forward. It feels like holding a promise in your heart without seeing it materialize in your hands. Yet from my perspective, delay is often careful preparation. It is timing shaped by wisdom rather than urgency. Think of fruit growing on a branch. It begins small and unremarkable. Over time, it develops color, texture, and sweetness. If it is picked too early, it may look complete on the outside but lack fullness within. A waiting allows it to mature. The sun and rain, the quiet passing of days, all contribute to its richness. In the same way, what you have been waiting for needed time to ripen. You have prayed for stability, for opportunity, for relationships that bring peace rather than confusion. But stability requires depth. Opportunity requires readiness. Healthy relationships require maturity in both hearts involved. If I had granted everything immediately, before the necessary growth occurred, you might have found yourself overwhelmed or unprepared. My love for you does not rush what must be strengthened. There were also paths you desired that would not have sustained you long term. Some doors that remained closed protected you from situations that would have drained your energy or distracted you from your purpose. What you called delay was often protection. What you called silence was often alignment happening behind the scenes. Waiting has shaped you in ways you may not fully appreciate yet. It has taught you patience in a world that celebrates speed. It has taught you discernment in moments when quick decisions could have led you astray. It has taught you to seek my peace rather than chase every opportunity. These lessons are not small. They are foundational. Imagine a builder laying the foundation of a home. Before walls are raised or windows installed, the ground must be measured and reinforced. Concrete must be poured and given time to settle. To an outside observer, it may look like little progress is being made. But without a strong foundation, the house would not stand securely. Your delays have been foundation work. You sometimes interpret waiting as a sign that you are behind. You compare your timeline to others and feel as though you missed your moment. My beloved child, your journey is not meant to mirror anyone else's. The timing of your life is crafted specifically for you. I see what you cannot see. I know what each season is preparing you to carry. Delay has also refined your desires. Some things you once thought essential no longer feel as urgent. Your perspective has shifted. Your priorities have deepened. You have learned to value peace over appearance, depth over speed, purpose over pressure. That refinement would not have happened if everything arrived instantly. As tomorrow approaches, Release the resentment you may have held toward the waiting. Let go of the belief that time was wasted. Nothing in your journey has been careless or accidental. Every pause served a purpose. Every unanswered prayer was either protection or preparation. The gift hidden in delay is readiness. Readiness of heart to handle what is coming. Readiness of mind to make wise decisions. Readiness of spirit to recognize blessing when it arrives. When what you have been waiting for begins to unfold, you will step into it with strength shaped by patience. Tonight, trust that the waiting was not punishment. It was positioning. And as the new day dawns, you will begin to see that the timing I chose for you was not late. It was loving, precise, and perfectly aligned with who you have become. My beloved child, you were never walking alone, not for a single moment of your life. I know there were seasons when it felt that way. I know there were nights when the silence around you felt heavy and unanswered. You lay awake with thoughts circling in your mind, wondering if anyone truly understood the depth of what you were carrying. In those moments, you may have felt isolated, as if you were navigating your struggles by yourself. But even then, I was with you more closely than you can imagine. You often measure presence by what you can see and hear. If reassurance does not arrive in obvious ways, you assume distance. Yet my presence does not depend on dramatic signs. It is constant, steady, and faithful. I have walked beside you through every valley and every uncertain road, even when you did not recognize my footsteps. Think about the times when you believed you would not make it through. There were situations that seemed too complex, too painful, too overwhelming. You felt stretched beyond your limits. Yet somehow, you endured. Somehow, you found a measure of calm in the storm. Somehow, you gathered strength for one more day. That strength was not born from your willpower alone. It was my sustaining hand beneath you. There were moments when circumstances shifted unexpectedly in your favor. Plans that might have harmed you fell apart. Opportunities that looked promising but carried hidden burdens quietly disappeared. You may have felt disappointed at the time. You may have questioned why things did not unfold the way you hoped. But later, you began to see that what left your life was not meant to remain. I was guiding you even through what felt like loss. There were also people placed in your path at precise moments. A word of encouragement arrived when you were close to giving up. A conversation opened your perspective when confusion clouded your thoughts. A small act of kindness reminded you that you were seen. These were not random occurrences. I arranged them carefully, weaving support into your story through others. Even when relationships change and certain individuals walk away, I remained. Even when you questioned your worth or doubted your direction, my view of you did not shift. I saw your growth while you focused on your flaws. I saw your courage while you felt fragile. I saw your resilience while you believed you were barely holding on. My beloved child, tomorrow is not a journey you must face alone. The same presence that sustained you in hidden seasons will guide you in visible ones. You may not always feel me with intensity, but feelings are not the measure of truth. I am steady whether your emotions are calm or restless. When fear tries to isolate you, remember your history with me. Recall the obstacles you thought would defeat you but did not. Recall the times when clarity arrived just when you needed it. Recall the strength that surfaced when you thought you had none left. Those moments are evidence of my nearness. I have gone before you into tomorrow. I have prepared conversations you have not yet had. I have softened hearts you will soon encounter. I have arranged details that will unfold in ways that seem natural, yet carry my fingerprints. Nothing about your next steps catches me by surprise. You are surrounded by more care than you can measure. My protection does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it is the quiet redirection that saves you from unnecessary pain. Sometimes it is the delay that keeps you from stepping into something premature. Sometimes it is the inner peace that steadies your decision. Rest tonight knowing this truth: you have never been abandoned. You have never been forgotten. You have never been navigating life without guidance. I am your constant companion. I am your steady support. I am your faithful Father. As you step into tomorrow, carry this assurance deeply within you. You are not walking into the unknown alone. You are walking hand in hand with the one who has been with you all along, and who will never leave your side. My beloved child, before you close your eyes tonight, I want you to speak life over your tomorrow. Your words carry more weight than you realize. What you declare in quiet moments shapes the posture of your heart. You have spoken worries out loud before. You have repeated fears until they felt solid. But tonight, I am inviting you to let hope be the language on your lips. There is power in agreement. When you speak what aligns with fear, your spirit feels heavier. When you speak what aligns with doubt, your confidence weakens. But when you speak in alignment with my promises, something begins to shift within you. Peace settles more deeply. Courage rises more steadily. Clarity sharpens. You do not need dramatic phrases. You do not need perfect sentences. A simple declaration is enough. Say, tomorrow will not defeat me. Say, I am guided. Say, I am protected. Say, I trust what is unfolding. Even if your voice is soft, even if you whisper it only once, those words create alignment between your heart and my truth. Think of a garden once more. If a gardener consistently speaks of weeds and neglect, nothing changes. But when seeds are planted intentionally, when nourishment is given, growth follows. Your words are seeds. If you plant fear repeatedly, anxiety grows. If you plant trust repeatedly, peace grows. Tonight, plant trust. You have been rehearsing worst-case scenarios in your mind. You have imagined conversations going poorly. You have anticipated obstacles before they even appear. My beloved child, you are allowed to imagine goodness as well. You are allowed to anticipate favor. You are allowed to expect that I am working on your behalf. Speaking life does not mean denying reality. It means choosing to frame reality through faith rather than fear. It means acknowledging challenges while still believing that they do not define the outcome. It means remembering that I am greater than any single situation you face. Before you rest, take a moment to declare gratitude for what has already sustained you. Gratitude softens anxiety. It reminds you that you have been carried before and will be carried again. Gratitude shifts your focus from what might go wrong to what has already gone right under my guidance. If these words are strengthening your heart tonight, let them travel further. Bless this message with a like so others can be reminded to speak life as well. Share it with someone who needs encouragement before they sleep. And take a moment to hype this video, allowing hope to reach more hearts standing on the edge of their own tomorrow. Remain connected and subscribe so you continue receiving these reminders of my steady voice. My beloved child, as you prepare to rest, let your final thoughts be anchored in trust. Do not fall asleep rehearsing fear. Fall asleep declaring faith. Let your mind settle on the truth that I am already in your tomorrow. Let your heart rest in the assurance that nothing awaits you there that I have not prepared you to face. When you speak life, you participate in the unfolding of promise. When you declare trust, you quiet the storm before it grows. When you align your words with my love, you create an atmosphere of peace within your own spirit. Tonight, choose your words carefully and intentionally. Let them reflect who you are becoming. not who fear says you were. Let them echo the truth that you are guided, supported, and deeply loved. And as you drift into sleep, carry those declarations with you. They will shape the way you rise in the morning. They will steady your steps. They will remind you that tomorrow does not begin with uncertainty. It begins with a heart that has chosen to speak life. My beloved child, as you speak life over your tomorrow, let your actions echo your declaration. Words are seeds, but so is generosity. When you choose to give through Super Thanks membership, or through the PayPal link placed in the description, you plant tangible hope into lives that are on the brink of surrender. I have said, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest shall not cease, and that law of increase responds to faith-filled obedience. Your gift becomes rain on someone's drought. It becomes manna in someone's wilderness. I am stirring your heart because you are meant to be part of this unfolding promise. Do not silence that nudge within you. That is my spirit inviting you to sow. As you release, I will cause peace to multiply in your own tomorrow. Speak life, and now act in life. So tonight, my beloved child, while you rest tonight, there is movement in the unseen that you cannot measure with your eyes. You are accustomed to evaluating progress by visible results. You look for confirmation in changed circumstances, clear signs, immediate outcomes. But much of what prepares your tomorrow unfolds beyond your sight. Silence does not mean stillness. Hidden does not mean inactive. Even now, details are aligning. Conversations you have not yet had are being prepared in hearts you cannot see. Circumstances that once seemed fixed are slowly shifting. Obstacles that appeared solid are weakening in ways you do not yet recognize. I am not distant from the unfolding of your life. I am attentive to it, intentional with it, and actively involved in ways that stretch beyond your awareness. When you close your eyes to sleep, you may imagine everything pauses. But my care for you does not sleep. While you release your worries, I continue arranging what you have entrusted to me. While you breathe in the stillness of night, I am weaving together outcomes that will make sense when daylight comes. Imagine a master weaver crafting a tapestry. From your perspective, you see only a few threads at a time. Sometimes the colors seem disconnected. Sometimes the pattern appears incomplete. But the weaver sees the entire design from beginning to end. I hold that complete view of your life. What seems unrelated to you is interconnected in ways you cannot yet trace. There have been moments in your past when something unexpected worked in your favor. An opportunity arose just when you needed it. A delay spared you from regret. A conversation clarified confusion at the right time. You may have called those moments coincidence, but they were not random. They were evidence of unseen alignment. You are not at the mercy of chance. You are not navigating a chaotic world without guidance. Even when circumstances appear still, subtle adjustments are taking place. Doors that seemed immovable are being prepared to open. Paths that looked blocked are being redirected toward something better. There are also protective movements happening that you may never fully recognize. There are misunderstandings being softened before they escalate. There are negative outcomes being quietly diverted. There are influences being removed from your path without announcement. You may not always see these interventions, but they are part of my faithful covering over you. My beloved child, this truth is meant to bring peace, not passivity. You are still invited to act with wisdom and courage. But you are not required to control every detail. You are not responsible for orchestrating the entire outcome. You can release the exhausting pressure of trying to manage what lies beyond your reach. Tomorrow may unfold in ways that feel subtle rather than dramatic. You may notice small shifts rather than immediate transformation. A sense of calm where anxiety once dominated. A conversation that flows more smoothly than expected. A decision that feels clearer than it did before. Do not dismiss these as insignificant. Often, the most meaningful changes begin quietly. Think of how dawn approaches. It does not explode into the sky all at once. The darkness gradually softens. The light gently increases. The horizon slowly brightens. In the same way, the unseen preparation for your tomorrow is already creating light at the edges of your circumstances. As you prepare to sleep, release the need to monitor every possible outcome. Release the habit of rehearsing scenarios in your mind. Allow trust to replace the tension. Let faith steady your thoughts. You are supported in ways you cannot calculate. You are guided by wisdom beyond your own. My beloved child, the unseen realm of your life is not empty. It is filled with intentional movement. It is shaped by care. It is covered by love. You are not stepping into an unprepared day. You are stepping into one that has already been touched by my hand. Rest knowing that while you sleep, alignment continues. When you awaken, you will begin to see hints of what has been forming. And as events unfold, you will realize that what seemed invisible was never inactive. It was working faithfully on your behalf all along. My beloved child, the time has come for you to open fully, not halfway, not cautiously, not with one hand still gripping the past. I have been patient with your process. I have walked with you through healing, through waiting, through questioning. But now, as tomorrow stands before you, I am inviting you into a deeper surrender. Partial trust will not carry you where I am leading you. You have opened certain rooms of your heart to me, but others you have kept carefully guarded. You have allowed me into your hopes, but hesitated to release your fears. You have asked for change, yet held on to control. This is not because you are rebellious. It is because you have been protecting yourself. You learn that vulnerability can lead to pain, so you ration your openness. But my beloved child, you are safe with me. Full surrender does not mean losing yourself. It means placing your whole self in hands that will not harm you. It means trusting that I am not careless with your heart. It means believing that I do not ask you to release control only to let you fall. When I call you to open fully, it is because I intend to carry you faithfully. Imagine standing at the edge of a river, knowing you must cross to reach the next season of your life. If you step in halfway and then retreat, you remain stuck. If you wade in only when the water feels perfectly comfortable, you may never move forward. But if you trust the one guiding you and step in completely, you discover that the current is not stronger than my support. There is a kind of freedom that only comes with full surrender. When you release the need to manage every outcome, your shoulders lighten. When you stop bracing for impact, your breathing steadies. When you open your heart without reservation, love flows more freely through you. You may fear that if you surrender fully, you will be disappointed again. You may wonder what happens if things do not unfold the way you hope. My beloved child, surrender is not about guaranteeing a specific outcome. It is about trusting that whatever unfolds, I will work within it for your good. It is about confidence in my character, not certainty in circumstances. There are dreams you have barely allowed yourself to revisit because you are afraid of hoping too much. There are prayers you have prayed cautiously, adding silent conditions to protect your heart. Tonight, I am asking you to bring those dreams and those prayers to me without restraint. Lay them down completely. Let go of the backup plans rooted in fear. You cannot receive tomorrow's fullness with yesterday's guardedness. Opening fully also means forgiving more deeply, trusting more freely, and stepping forward without constantly looking over your shoulder. It means accepting that growth sometimes feels uncomfortable but leads to expansion. It means acknowledging that the next chapter requires a version of you that is not shrinking back. My beloved child, I am not asking you to be reckless. I'm asking you to be wholehearted. There is a difference. Wholeheartedness is anchored in trust. It is grounded in relationship. It flows from knowing that you are loved beyond measure. As tomorrow approaches, release the final fragments of hesitation. Release the quiet reservations that say, "I will believe it when I see it." Instead, choose to believe because you know me. Choose to open because you trust my intention. You are not stepping into uncertainty alone. You are stepping into a space already prepared for you. But to walk freely in it, your heart must be unburdened by partial surrender. Open fully, my beloved child. Do not hold back the parts of you that still tremble. Bring them to. I can handle your fears. I can carry your doubts. I can steady your steps. When you open completely, you will find that the peace you have been searching for was waiting on the other side of surrender. And tomorrow will not feel like a threat. It will feel like a doorway you are finally ready to walk through. My beloved child, I am turning the page. You have felt the shift building, like the quiet tension before a chapter ends and another begins. You sensed it in the restlessness. You noticed it in the way old routines no longer satisfied you. You recognized it in the way certain conversations felt like closure rather than continuation. These are not random emotions. They are signals that the season is changing. When a page turns, it does not erase what was written before. It carries the lessons forward. It preserves the growth. It closes the scene that has served its purpose and opens space for what comes next. That is what I am doing in your life right now. I am not discarding your past. I am transitioning you beyond it. There were seasons when you felt confined by circumstances that seemed unmovable. You adapted. You endured. You made the best of what you had. But deep inside, you sensed there was more. Not more in terms of status or recognition, but more in terms of alignment. More peace, more clarity, more purpose. That longing was not selfish ambition. It was the stirring of transition. Turning the page requires courage because it means stepping into something not fully described yet. The previous chapter, even if it was difficult, became familiar. You knew its patterns. You understood its rhythm. But what lies ahead is still being revealed line by line. The uncertainty can feel unsettling. Yet I am not leading you into chaos. I am guiding you into growth. There are patterns you once tolerated that will no longer fit in this next chapter. There are environments that once shaped you that you are now outgrowing. There are mindsets that once protected you that you no longer need. When I turn the page, I also adjust your perspective. What once seemed acceptable may now feel restrictive. That discomfort is not confusion. It is confirmation that you are evolving. My beloved child, this shift is not sudden. It has been built in quietly. You have been learning lessons that prepared you for it. You have been shedding fears that once limited you. You have been strengthening trust that once felt fragile. Every previous part of your story has been leading to this transition. You may wonder what exactly will change tomorrow. Some changes will be visible. Others will begin internally before they appear externally. A new confidence will rise within you. A deeper calm will anchor your decisions. A clearer understanding of what you will and will not accept will guide your choices. These shifts may seem subtle at first, but they carry lasting impact. Turning the page also means releasing what no longer belongs in your present. This may include old regrets, outdated expectations, and narratives you repeated about yourself. It may include forgiving yourself more fully. It may include letting go of the need to explain your growth to those who are not ready to understand it. You are not betraying your past by moving forward. You are honoring the work it did in you. Imagine holding a book and reading the same chapter repeatedly, even though the next one waits. Eventually, the repetition becomes limiting. The story cannot progress unless the page turns. In the same way, you cannot fully step into what I have prepared if you remain anchored in what has already been completed. My beloved child, I am not rushing you. I am guiding you. The page is turning not because you forced it, but because the time has come. Trust the transition. Trust the unfolding. Trust that what awaits you carries the same care that sustained you. As tomorrow dawns, you will begin to sense that something has shifted. It may not be loud or dramatic. It may be quiet but unmistakable. A door feels lighter to open. A conversation flows differently. A decision becomes clearer. The page is turning. And as it does, you are stepping into a chapter written with intention, shaped by love, and aligned with who you have become. My beloved child, peace will be your confirmation. As you step into tomorrow, you may find yourself looking for grand signs, dramatic signals, or unmistakable proof that you are moving in the right direction. You may expect clarity to arrive like thunder, loud and undeniable. But more often, my guidance comes as something quieter and steadier. It comes as peace. Not the fragile peace that depends on everything going perfectly, but the deep peace that settles even when questions remain. You have experienced the opposite before. There were moments when something looked good on the surface, yet inside you felt unsettled. Your thoughts would not rest. Your spirit felt tight. Even when others encouraged you, something within you hesitated. That inner unrest was not weakness. It was discernment. It was your spirit recognizing misalignment. In the same way, when you are walking in step with me, there will be a calm beneath your circumstances. Challenges may still exist. Conversations may still stretch you. Uncertainty may not vanish overnight. But beneath it all, there will be a steady assurance that you are not lost, not alone, not misdirected. Peace is not the absence of complexity. It is the presence of my covering. As tomorrow unfolds, decisions may arise unexpectedly. Opportunities may appear in subtle forms. You may face moments where you must choose quickly or respond thoughtfully. Instead of reacting from fear, pause and notice what is happening within you. When your heart feels anchored, when your breathing steadies, when clarity comes without panic, that is often my confirmation. You have sometimes mistaken intensity for guidance. If something felt urgent or emotionally overwhelming, you assumed it must be important. But urgency is not always from me. Pressure is not always purpose. My direction carries clarity without chaos. It may stretch you, but it will not destabilize you. My beloved child, you do not need the loudest voice in the room to validate your steps. You do not need universal approval to move forward. When you are aligned with me, peace will speak louder than external opinions. It will quiet the need to prove yourself. It will reassure you when others question what you feel led to do. There may also be moments when peace gently withdraws, not as punishment but as protection. If something begins to feel heavy, if confusion increases without understanding, pause rather than push through. Bring that unrest to me. I will not shame you for questioning. I will guide you back toward steadiness. Peace is one of the ways I guard your path. It acts as a boundary, preventing you from rushing into choices fueled by fear or insecurity. It shields you from stepping into environments that would disrupt your growth. It reassures you when the road ahead is unfamiliar but safe. Imagine walking through a dense forest at dawn with a trusted guide. You may not recognize every turn or understand the full map, but as long as you sense the guide's calm presence, you do not panic. That calm presence is peace. It is the inner awareness that you are being led even when you cannot see the entire journey. As tomorrow approaches, release the habit of overanalyzing every detail. Instead, pay attention to the condition of your spirit. Is there a quiet confidence forming? Is there a steady calm even when uncertainty remains? That calm is not accidental. It is my reassurance. My beloved child, you do not need to eliminate every question before stepping forward. You need only to remain anchored in peace while answers unfold. Peace will guard your thoughts when fear tries to intrude. It will steady your emotions when circumstances shift. It will confirm that you are walking within my care. Receive that peace when it comes. Do not dismiss it. Do not doubt it. It is my gift to you, a sign that you are aligned with the path prepared for you. And as you follow that peace, step by step, you will realize that it is more than a feeling. It is confirmation that you are exactly where you are meant to be, guided by a love that does not waver. My beloved child, as you stand on the edge of tomorrow, I sense a quiet question rising within you. You are willing for change to come, yet part of you wonders what it will cost. You ask yourself what must be surrendered, what might be left behind, what could shift beyond your comfort. Growth often carries this hidden tension. It is not only excitement about what is ahead, it is concern about what might be taken away. Tonight, I want to settle the concern in your heart. What I bring into your life will never steal your true identity. You may have seen others change in ways that seemed unnatural, as though success reshaped them into someone unrecognizable. You may have feared that stepping into something new would require you to abandon the parts of yourself you cherish most. But I did not design growth to erase you. I designed it to reveal you more fully. There are elements of your life that may shift as tomorrow unfolds. Certain habits may no longer align with who you are becoming. Some conversations may feel outdated. Some spaces may seem smaller than they once did. But what falls away in transition is not your essence. It is what no longer fits your development. You are not losing yourself when you grow. You are uncovering the deeper layers of who you were always meant to be. Sometimes familiarity feels safer than freedom. Even if a situation limits you, at least you know how to navigate it. Even if a role feels too small, it is predictable. Stepping into something new requires trust. It requires releasing the illusion of control that comes with staying where you are comfortable. But comfort and calling are not the same. As you move forward, you may notice subtle changes within you. Confidence may replace insecurity. Boundaries may become clearer. Your voice may carry more steadiness. These shifts are not signs that you are becoming someone else. They are signs that you are becoming more aligned with the person I created you to be. My beloved child, I will never ask you to sacrifice your integrity to advance. I will never require you to abandon compassion for achievement. I will never trade your peace for temporary progress. The path I prepare for you is consistent with your design. It strengthens your character rather than distorting it. There may still be things you must release. Perhaps it is the need for constant approval. Perhaps it is the attachment to outdated expectations you placed on yourself. Perhaps it is the habit of shrinking to make others comfortable. Letting go of these attachments may feel uncomfortable at first, but what you release was never meant to define you. Imagine carrying a suitcase filled with items you once needed for a different season. As you step into a new environment, some of those items become unnecessary weight. If you refuse to unpack and reorganize, your journey becomes heavier than it needs to be. But when you remove what no longer serves you, you make room for what truly supports your next steps. Tomorrow will not take away the core of who you are. Your kindness will remain. Your resilience will remain. Your sensitivity, creativity, and depth will remain. Those qualities are rooted in your design. What may shift are the fears that once overshadowed them. What may dissolve are the narratives that kept you confined. Growth may challenge your old definitions, but it will not erase your foundation. In fact, it will strengthen it. You will begin to see yourself through a clearer lens. You will recognize strengths you once overlooked. You will embrace boundaries that protect your peace rather than threaten it. My beloved child, change is not theft. It is transformation. It is not subtraction of identity. It is expansion of capacity. What is ahead will not strip you of who you are. It will refine you, steady you, and position you in spaces that reflect your growth. Rest tonight knowing that tomorrow's unfolding will not cost you your soul. It will align you more deeply with it. You are not walking into loss. You are walking into clarity. And as you step forward, you will discover that you have not lost yourself in the process. You have grown into a truer version of yourself than ever before. My beloved child, I have not forgotten a single prayer you have whispered in the quiet. Not one request has slipped past me. Not one tear-filled sentence has fallen into emptiness. There were nights when you prayed softly, almost as if you were unsure whether to hope. There were moments when your words were simple and short, because you were too tired to say more. Yet every prayer reached me, and every longing of your heart has been held with care. Some of your prayers were bold and specific. You asked for change in circumstances. You asked for doors to open. You asked for restoration where there had been loss. Other prayers were more fragile. You asked simply for peace. You asked for strength to endure another day. You asked for reassurance that you were not alone. My beloved child, I heard them all. You may have wondered at times whether your prayers were unanswered. You looked for visible change and saw little. You waited for clear evidence and received silence. But silence does not mean neglect. Delay does not mean disregard. Often, what you interpreted as absence was preparation unfolding beyond your sight. The overflow you prayed for is not forgotten. It is being formed with intention. You imagined overflow as something immediate and unmistakable, perhaps dramatic in appearance. But overflow does not always rush in like a flood. Sometimes it comes as a steady stream that fills you gradually, strengthening you in ways that last. If I poured everything at once, without preparation, you might feel overwhelmed. I know the measure of your capacity, and I fill you accordingly. There were prayers where you focused on the outcome, but I focused on the foundation. You asked for success, but I saw the need for confidence. You asked for resolution, but I saw the need for clarity within your own heart. You asked for opportunity, but I saw the importance of refining your discernment first. I was not ignoring your request. I was strengthening you so that when the answer arrived, you would be ready to steward it wisely. Think of a vessel being filled slowly. If liquid is poured too quickly, it spills and is wasted. But when poured steadily, it rises to the brim without loss. Your life is that vessel. What you have prayed for is being poured carefully, in alignment with your growth. There were also times when the answer to your prayer required alignment beyond you. Other hearts had to soften. Other decisions had to shift. Circumstances had to move in ways you could not control. I was working not only within you but around you. Just because you could not see those adjustments did not mean they were not happening. My beloved child, the overflow you prayed for includes more than external blessing. It includes internal transformation. It includes the peace that steadies you when uncertainty arises. It includes the courage to say no to what does not fit. It includes the wisdom to recognize what truly aligns with your purpose. These are not small gifts. They are foundational answers. Tomorrow may begin to reveal subtle signs of what you have been asking for. It may not look exactly as you imagined. It may arrive in forms you did not anticipate. But when it comes, there will be a sense of rightness, a resonance within your spirit that says, "This fits." Do not overlook small beginnings. A single conversation can unlock a path. A single decision can shift a season. A single moment of boldness can open a door long prayed for. What appears modest at first may carry the seeds of the overflow you once envisioned. You have grown since you first prayed those prayers. You are stronger now. You are wiser. You are more aware of my presence. That growth is part of the answer itself. I was shaping you alongside shaping your circumstances. Rest tonight with expectation, not pressure. Trust that what is meant for you will unfold in the right measure and at the right time. You are not forgotten. Your prayers are not lost. The overflow you asked for is being released with wisdom and love. And as tomorrow begins to unfold, you will start to see that what you whispered in hope is becoming reality, not in haste, but in harmony with who you have become. My beloved child, there is one last thing I am asking you to release before you step fully into tomorrow. You have laid down many burdens. You have surrendered fears. You have opened your heart in ways that once felt impossible. But there is still a small hesitation tucked quietly within you. It is subtle, almost hidden, yet it lingers like a final thread tying you to yesterday. It is the fear of fully trusting that something good can last. You have experienced moments of joy before that were followed by disappointment. You have seen progress interrupted. You have felt hope rise and then falter. So somewhere deep inside, you began to guard yourself from expecting too much. You told yourself it was safer that way. Safer not to anticipate. Safer not to celebrate too early. Safer not to believe too deeply. But my beloved child, guarded expectation limits your ability to receive. I am not asking you to ignore wisdom. I am not asking you to abandon discernment. I am asking you to release the quiet belief that goodness is temporary. That belief does not protect you. It restrains you. It keeps you braced for impact when I am inviting you into peace. Let go of the expectation that something will go wrong simply because things begin to go right. Release the habit of scanning for disaster when you should be savoring progress. Release the reflex that says this will not last. That voice was shaped by past pain, but it does not belong in your future. Tomorrow requires openness, not suspicion. Imagine holding a gift with both hands but refusing to unwrap it because you fear it might be taken away. The gift remains present, yet you never experience its fullness. In the same way, if you approach every blessing with guarded caution, you rob yourself of the joy I intend for you to experience. There is courage in allowing yourself to believe that peace can remain. There is strength in trusting that progress can continue. There is faith in accepting that growth can be sustained. I am not teasing you with temporary comfort. I am leading you into deeper stability. My beloved child, you are ready. You have grown beyond the version of yourself that once needed constant protection. You have developed resilience. You have cultivated discernment. You are not as fragile as you once felt. It is time to release the final hesitation. If these words are stirring something within you, do not keep them to yourself. Bless this message with a like so it can reach others who are standing at their own threshold. Share it with someone who needs courage to release their final fear. And take a moment to hype this video, allowing hope to spread further than you can see. Stay connected and subscribe so you continue receiving these reminders of my steady guidance. Now, return your focus to me. Close your eyes and picture yourself loosening that final thread of doubt. Feel your shoulders relax as you release it. Sense the lightness that follows when you stop bracing for loss. This is what readiness feels like. This is what surrender feels like when it is complete. You do not need to carry suspicion into tomorrow. You do not need to shield yourself from imagined disappointment. You are not walking into uncertainty alone. You are walking into a day prepared with intention. Release the last hesitation, my beloved child. Let hope rise without restraint. Let peace settle without resistance. Let expectation breathe without fear. When you wake, you will not be stepping cautiously into a fragile promise. You will be stepping confidently into a new beginning shaped by love, guided by wisdom, and sustained by my faithful hand. My beloved child, as you release the final thread of hesitation and step freely toward tomorrow, let generosity be the seal of your surrender. There are others still bound by doubt, still bracing for loss, still afraid to believe that goodness can last. When you support this mission through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you help break chains you will never physically see. Your giving becomes a key in another person's locked room. It becomes oil that keeps the flame of hope burning through the night. I have declared that the generous soul will prosper, and I breathe that blessing over you now. This is not about obligation, it is about overflow. I am inviting you into a divine exchange where what you release returns guarded and multiplied. Do not retreat into caution. Step forward boldly. Give now, and watch me sustain what I begin. My beloved child, now it is time for you to rest. You have journeyed through reflection, surrender, healing, and release. You have opened doors within your heart that once felt sealed. You have faced fears gently and allowed hope to breathe again. Do not turn this moment into another effort to strive. Let it become what it was always meant to be, a quiet place of trust. Rest is not retreat. It is confidence in my care. When you allow yourself to sleep peacefully, you are making a declaration without words. You are saying that you trust me to hold what you cannot control. You are admitting that the weight of tomorrow does not belong entirely on your shoulders. You are accepting that you were never designed to carry the world alone. You have spent nights before replaying conversations in your mind. You have anticipated outcomes and rehearsed responses. You have tried to predict every possible scenario as though vigilance could guarantee safety. But constant mental preparation does not create peace. It only creates exhaustion. And you were not created to live in constant alertness. Tonight, lay those thoughts down gently. Imagine taking each lingering concern and placing it into my hands. The decisions that still feel unresolved. The conversations that may unfold tomorrow. The opportunities you hope will come. The fears that still try to whisper. Do not push them away in frustration. Simply hand them over. You do not need to solve them before sleep. You do not need to complete every calculation in your mind. I remain awake while you rest. There is something deeply sacred about sleep. It is a reminder that the universe continues even when you close your eyes. It is a daily invitation to release control. While your body restores itself, I continue to guide, to arrange, to prepare. Nothing stops because you rest. In fact, Rest allows you to participate in tomorrow with greater clarity. You may feel anticipation about what is ahead. That is natural. But do not let anticipation transform into tension. Let it become quiet expectation rooted in trust. Allow your breathing to slow. Let your muscles relax. Release the tightness you may not have noticed building in your shoulders and jaw. Picture a child resting peacefully in a secure home. The child does not stay awake guarding the doors. The child does not calculate the risks of tomorrow. The child sleeps because trust is present. My beloved child, you are safe within my care. You do not need to monitor the night. Rest is preparation. When you are weary, your thoughts grow heavy and distorted. When you are exhausted, fear can seem louder than it truly is. But when you are rested, your spirit is clearer. Your perception opens. You are more able to recognize peace and respond with wisdom. As you lie down, let gratitude be your final meditation. Remember how far you have come. Recall the seasons you survived. Reflect on the strength that carried you through uncertainty. Let thankfulness soften any remaining anxiety. Gratitude opens space for calm. You have done what was required of you today. You have surrendered what was heavy. You have opened what was closed. Now give yourself permission to be still. Imagine my presence like a gentle covering around you, not restrictive, but protective. Not overwhelming, but steady. I am attentive even in the quiet. I am watchful even when you are unaware. You are not alone in the darkness. You are surrounded by care that does not falter. Tomorrow will arrive in its appointed time. It will not rush ahead of you, and it will not pass you by. When you wake, you will meet it with renewed strength because you chose to trust enough to rest. So close your eyes now, my beloved child. Release the final lingering worry. Breathe in peace. Breathe out tension. Allow sleep to come as an act of faith. Rest deeply, knowing that you are held securely, guided intentionally, and loved without condition. My beloved child, the dawn of new mercy is closer than you realize. Even now, while the night feels still and quiet, the horizon is slowly preparing to change. You cannot yet see the first streaks of light, but they are forming. Just as darkness never holds the sky forever, the weight of yesterday will not define your tomorrow. A new morning carries grace specifically designed for you. Every sunrise is a declaration that the past does not control the present. You may wake with memories that try to follow you into the new day. You may recall conversations that left you unsettled or decisions you wish had unfolded differently. You may feel tempted to measure tomorrow by what happened before. But my beloved child, each new day is not an extension of your regret. It is an invitation into renewal. My mercy does not run on leftovers. It is not recycled patience or diluted grace. It is fresh. It meets you exactly where you are. If yesterday drained you, today brings restoration. If yesterday confused you, today brings clarity in the steps you need to take. You do not carry old failures into new beginnings unless you choose to. Imagine standing outside just before sunrise. The air is cool, and the world is quiet. Slowly, the sky begins to shift. The deep blue gives way to soft hues of gold and pink. You did not force the sun to rise. You did not calculate its timing. You rhyme faithfully. In the same way, your mercy arrives without your effort. It is consistent, steady, and dependable. There were times when you believed you had exhausted your chances. You questioned whether you had made too many mistakes. You feared that certain outcomes permanently altered your path. But I am not bound by your past missteps. I do not withdraw love because you stumbled. I do not withhold guidance because you hesitated. I restore, I strengthen, and I lead forward. New mercy also carries renewed strength. You are not expected to face tomorrow with yesterday's fatigue. The energy required for what lies ahead will meet you as you walk. You do not need to store up strength in advance. I supply it in real time. You may notice that when light fills a room, shadows lose their intimidation. In darkness, shapes can appear threatening and unclear. But when morning arrives, clarity replaces fear. My beloved child, some of the concerns that troubled you will look different in the light of a new day. They may not disappear instantly, but they will no longer dominate your vision. The dawn is also a reminder of faithfulness. The sun has risen every day of your life, regardless of your mood, your mistakes, or your doubts. In the same way, my mercy has remained constant. Even in seasons when you felt distant, grace continued. Even in moments when you were unsure, I was steady. Tomorrow is not random. It is intentional. It carries provision you have not yet seen and opportunities that will align with your growth. It may not unfold exactly as you imagine, but it will unfold under my watchful care. Do not approach the morning with suspicion. Do not expect disappointment before anything has happened. Let hope breathe again. Let anticipation stretch gently within you. You are not waking into repetition. You are waking into renewal. My beloved child, receive the dawn as a gift. Receive it without rehearsing past regrets. Receive it knowing that you are equipped for what it holds. You are not the same person you were yesterday. You are strengthened by every lesson, refined by every challenge, supported by grace that does not expire. When the first light touches your eyes, remember this truth. You are stepping into fresh mercy. You are stepping into strength prepared for you. You are stepping into a day already covered by my faithful love. And as the sun rises, let it remind you that new beginnings are not rare events. They are daily gifts from a Father who never stops renewing you. My beloved child, now is the moment to walk boldly into the change that stands before you. You have prepared your heart through surrender. You have released burdens that once weighed heavily upon you. You have opened yourself fully to trust. You have rested in my care and received the dawn of new mercy. This is not the time to retreat into hesitation. This is the time to move forward with steady confidence. Boldness does not mean the absence of fear. It means fear no longer governs your steps. You may still feel a flicker of uncertainty as you consider what lies ahead. That is natural. Growth stretches you beyond the boundaries of familiarity. It asks you to trust beyond what you can calculate. But remember, you are not stepping into this new season unprepared. Every lesson you endured, every delay you survived, every tear that refined your heart has shaped you for this very moment. Imagine an eagle perched at the edge of a high cliff. The sky stretches wide before it, and the wind rushes upward from below. The eagle may feel the force of the air and sense the vastness of the space ahead, but its wings were designed for flight. It was never created to remain on the ledge forever. In the same way, you were not designed to live confined by hesitation. You were formed with the capacity to rise. You have asked me for change. You have prayed for growth and clarity. Now that the door stands open, do not shrink back into old patterns of doubt. Do not rehearse the fears that once held you still. You are capable not because you are flawless, but because you are guided. You are equipped not because you know every outcome, but because I walk with you. Boldness begins within. It begins when you decide to trust my presence more than your insecurity. It begins when you choose to respond from peace rather than panic. The first step may feel small, but it carries power. Action builds confidence. Movement creates momentum. You may worry about making mistakes. My beloved child, mistakes are not disasters in my hands. They are opportunities to learn and adjust. You are not walking a narrow rope without support. You are walking a path where I steady you when you wobble and redirect you when you veer. Perfection is not the requirement. Faithfulness is. There will be voices around you. Some will encourage. Others may question. Do not let the noise drown out the quiet assurance within you. The peace you carry is a stronger guide than external approval. Let it direct your pace. Let it affirm your decisions. Walking boldly also means setting boundaries where necessary. It may require you to say no where you once said yes out of fear. It may invite you to speak with clarity where you once remained silent. It may call you to release environments that no longer align with your growth. These actions are not signs of rebellion. They are signs of maturity. My beloved child, the change ahead is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to expand you. It will challenge your comfort zones, but it will also reveal strengths you did not know you possessed. You will discover resilience where you once felt fragile. You will uncover confidence where doubt once lingered. Picture yourself entering a spacious room filled with light. At first, your eyes may need a moment to adjust. But as they do, you realize the space is not threatening. It is liberating. It allows you to stand upright, to breathe deeply, to move freely. That is what this new season offers. Walk boldly, knowing that I have gone before you. Walk boldly, knowing that your past does not dictate your future. Walk boldly, knowing that the courage you seek is already within you because I placed it there. Take the step, my beloved child. Lift your head. Steady your heart. Let your voice carry clarity. The door is open, and the path is prepared. As you move forward with quiet strength, you will realize that boldness was never something you needed to create. It was something waiting for you to embrace it. My beloved child, remember this night. Do not allow it to fade into the background of your memory as though it were ordinary. It may have seemed quiet. It may not have carried dramatic signs or visible miracles. Yet something profound happened within you. A decision was made. A shift occurred. A door that had long remained closed was opened. And though the world around you may look unchanged at first light, your heart is not the same. There are moments in your life that become markers, even if you only recognize them later. They are not always accompanied by applause or announcement. They unfold in stillness. They are sealed by surrender. Tonight was one of those sacred markers. It was the night you chose to trust again. The night you released control more fully. The night you allowed hope to rise without immediately silencing it. You may wake tomorrow and see familiar surroundings. The same tasks may await you. The same responsibilities may greet you. But what has shifted inside you will begin to influence how you meet those responsibilities. When the heart changes, perspective changes. When perspective changes, actions follow. Remember how it felt when you finally loosened your grip on fear. Remember the relief that came when you stopped bracing for disappointment. Remember the calm that settled in when you chose to believe that goodness could remain. These feelings are not illusions. They are evidence of growth. There will be days when doubt tries to revisit you. There will be moments when old patterns attempt to resurface. When that happens, return in your memory to this night. Recall the clarity you felt when you said yes to trust. Recall the strength that rose within you when you opened fully. Let this night become an anchor point. Think of a traveler who stands at a border between two lands. Once they step across, even if the scenery looks similar, they know they have crossed into new territory. They cannot unknow the step they have taken. In the same way, you have crossed an internal border. You have stepped beyond hesitation into willingness. You chose hope instead of suspicion. You chose faith instead of retreat. You chose to release the belief that disappointment was inevitable. These choices may seem invisible to others, but they are deeply significant. Transformation often begins quietly. It begins with a shift in thought, a softening of the heart, a strengthening of resolve. You may not feel dramatically different tomorrow, but over time you will notice it. You will respond differently in situations that once triggered fear. You will speak with more clarity where you once hesitated. You will move with greater steadiness. One day you may look back and recognize that this was the night everything began to change. Not because circumstances instantly transformed, but because you did. You decided to trust the unfolding of tomorrow. You allowed yourself to believe that peace could remain. You embraced the possibility that growth would not be taken from you. Hold on to that awareness. When progress unfolds, remember this night. When you feel calmer in situations that once unsettled you, remember this night. When you notice confidence rising where insecurity once lived, remember that it began here. Even challenges will meet a different version of you now. You will face them with more composure. You will navigate them with clearer understanding. You will not be as easily shaken because your foundation has shifted. My beloved child, mark this moment within your spirit. Let it be a quiet memorial to courage. Let it remind you that change does not always begin outside you. Sometimes it begins in a simple decision to open your heart. You aligned yourself with my guidance. You stepped across a threshold. And though the path ahead will continue to unfold, know this: tonight was not insignificant. It was the quiet beginning of a new chapter that will continue to reveal itself with time. My beloved child, as you step into this new light, understand this deeply. When I say tomorrow will change everything, I am not speaking of chaos or confusion. I am speaking of alignment. I am speaking of a quiet but undeniable shift that begins within you and gradually transforms what surrounds you. Change is not always loud. Sometimes it is a steady current beneath the surface, guiding you toward what has been prepared. You once believed that for everything to change, everything around you had to rearrange instantly. You imagined dramatic signs, immediate breakthroughs, unmistakable evidence. But real transformation often unfolds differently. It begins in your thoughts. It strengthens in your perspective. It settles into your identity. And then, over time, it reshapes your world. Tomorrow, changing everything may look subtle at first. It may look like responding calmly where you once reacted in fear. It may look like setting a boundary where you once overextended yourself. It may look like choosing hope instead of rehearsing worst-case scenarios. These shifts may seem small, but they carry power. You are not waking up in a different world. You are waking up as a different person. And that changes everything. When your internal posture changes, your external experience begins to follow. When you carry trust instead of suspicion, your interactions shift. When you carry peace instead of tension, your decisions become clearer. When you believe that goodness can remain, you stop bracing for loss. My beloved child, this is what true renewal looks like. It is not the removal of all difficulty. It is the strengthening of your foundation. It is not the disappearance of every challenge. It is the emergence of courage within you. There will still be responsibilities. There will still be conversations that require wisdom. There will still be moments that test your patience, but you will approach them differently. You will not feel as though you are merely surviving. You will sense that you are growing, shaping your path with steadiness rather than fear. Consider a river carving its way through rock. It does not accomplish this in a single moment. It flows consistently, patiently, reshaping the landscape over time. In the same way, the change within you may not appear dramatic overnight, but it will be lasting. Each calm response, each confident decision, each step taken in faith will gradually alter the course of your life. You may notice that certain worries that once consumed you now feel quieter. You may realize that you are less shaken by uncertainty. You may sense that your voice carries more clarity. These are not coincidences. They are evidence of transformation. The seed of change was planted long ago. In seasons when you felt unseen growth happening, roots were forming beneath the surface. Strength was developing quietly. When the shoot finally breaks through the soil, it may seem sudden, but it is the result of steady preparation. In the same way, tomorrow's shift is the visible expression of the internal growth you have embraced. Do not underestimate this moment. Do not dismiss the quiet confidence rising within you. It is alignment. It is readiness. It is proof that surrender has taken root. My beloved child, tomorrow changes everything not because the world rearranges itself instantly, but because you are no longer the same. You have released fear. You have embraced trust. You have chosen hope over hesitation. That openness alters your path. As you move forward, you will begin to see how this shift influences countless details. You will notice how your steadiness invites healthier connections. You will recognize how your peace opens doors that anxiety once closed. You will understand that change is not one dramatic event but a series of faithful steps. Walk with awareness, not demanding immediate proof but attentive to subtle evidence. Every moment of calm, every courageous choice, every boundary set with clarity is part of the transformation. Tomorrow changes everything because you have allowed yourself to change. And what is unfolding is not fragile. It is rooted in my faithfulness. It is sustained by my presence. It will continue to shape your life in ways that reflect the quiet decision you made to trust. My beloved child, we have come to the threshold of this message, but not to the end of what I am doing in your life. You began this journey with a simple invitation to open before tonight, because tomorrow would change everything. And now you stand here, not the same as when you first listened. Something within you has shifted. Something has softened. Something has strengthened. Tomorrow is no longer a threat in your mind. It is a doorway. You have released fear that once felt permanent. You have loosened your grip on control. You have allowed hope to breathe again. You have chosen peace over panic, trust over doubt, surrender over striving. These choices are not small. They are sacred. When you wake, the world around you may appear familiar. The same sky, the same responsibilities, the same rhythms, but you will meet them differently. You will meet them as someone who has aligned their heart with my presence. You will meet them as someone who no longer assumes that goodness must be temporary, and that changes everything. You are stepping into tomorrow with new mercy, with deeper roots, with clear boundaries, with steadier peace. You are not stepping forward alone. I go before you. I walk beside you. I remain behind you as your covering. There is no conversation you will enter that I have not already seen. There is no challenge you will face that I have not already prepared you to endure. If fear attempts to whisper again, remember this night. If doubt tries to revisit, recall the peace that settled over you. If uncertainty arises, return to the truth that you are guided and loved beyond measure. My beloved child, tomorrow will change everything because you have opened your heart. You have chosen to trust me with your future. You have allowed transformation to begin within. What unfolds next will not be random. It will be aligned. It will be shaped by grace. Walk forward gently but confidently. Speak life. Protect your peace. Honor your growth. Do not shrink back into old patterns. You have crossed a threshold, and you cannot unsee what you now know. Before we close, hear my blessing over you. May your mind be steady and clear. May your heart remain open and courageous. May your steps be ordered with wisdom. May your days be filled with quiet confirmations of my presence. May your nights be restful and free from fear. And as you continue this journey, remember that this message was not just words. It was an invitation to step into alignment, an invitation to believe that change can be gentle and powerful at the same time. If these words have carried you, and if you feel stirred to help this message reach others who need to open before tonight, now is your moment. Sow into this mission as an act of faith. When you give through Super Thanks, through membership, or through the PayPal link placed in the description and shown in the QR code, you are not supporting a platform. You are helping light travel into dark places. As it is written, give, and it will be given to you. And I declare that as you release seed, a harvest of peace will rise in your own life. I am inviting you now. Step into this obedience. Let your giving be prophetic, urgent, and joyful. I will bless the hands that sow. Do not hesitate. Act in faith. My beloved child, tomorrow is here. Walk into it knowing you are held, guided, renewed, and deeply loved. Amen. My beloved child, as you stand at this threshold and prepare to walk into tomorrow changed, seal this moment with action. The transformation you have embraced is not meant to remain contained. It is meant to travel like wildfire across hearts hungry for hope. When you sow through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link waiting in the description, you become a co-laborer in this divine movement. As it is written, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it, and your seed fuels that light. Your generosity becomes wind in the sails of this mission. It becomes bread multiplied in my hands to feed thousands you will never meet. I am calling you into urgent obedience, not passive agreement. Release what is in your hand, and I will release what is in mine. I will cover your provision, expand your territory, and establish peace within your gates. Do not wait for another prompting. Act in faith. So now,